Now this WordPress membership is going to be powered by what are called plugins. Plugins allow you to add functionality to the base WordPress install. Okay, so there's several that we're going to install. Let's just go to plugins. And then you'll see something here called add new. This allows you to search within the WordPress codex and actually install the plugin right from here without any messing around. Makes installing plugins a lot easier. Now before we do that, we're going to need our FTP information. Now we can use our main FTP account that we just set up when we did our hosting account here if we want. If you don't want to do that, you can set up a secondary account. It's up to you. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to search for our first plugin. Now the first one we're going to install is called WP Hide Dashboard. What that does is it hides the dashboard contents from anybody that signs in as a subscriber. Normally they can see a lot of stuff on the dashboard. You don't want them to be able to see anything except for to be able to update their own profile. So WP Hide Dashboard. Okay, here it is here. So all we have to do now is click install. And then just click install now. Now this is where we have to put in our FTP information. Okay, so our host name is our domain name, and then the same username and password that were given to you by your hosting provider, unless you set another FTP account up. Now if you want to set up a separate FTP account for your WordPress blog so they can't get into your whole hosting account, this is where you can do it here. This is where it says FTP accounts. And then you can just give a different username and password here. So we'll say WP blog, and it's going to be add your domain name, and then put your password here, and then repeat it, and then the directory that they're allowed to access. Okay, so in this case we're going to have to let it access public_HTML, which is where our files are sitting on our hosting account. Okay, and then quota, you can give them a quota or unlimited. We can create the account now. And it's all created for us. Okay, so now we can go and we can set up our information on our plugin install here. So we can just get that, actually we can just copy it from here. So let's just copy that. Paste that in here. Oh, that's our username. Okay, so that's our domain name or host name, username, password here that we can also copy from the other side and leave that as FTP. Click proceed and then activate plugin. It comes back here and it shows us that it is installed and activated. Okay, so we go through this procedure for the rest of them. So let's go to add new again. Now the next one we're going to install is called RPayPal. It's the one that actually powers the member side of our script, takes the payments, and it locks people out when they don't pay and so on. It sets their status to active when they do pay. So we just search on that. Install this. Comes back to here. Oh, we need to put our password back in again. Just click remember here and it'll remember it for us. Okay, so it's installed, so we can just activate it here. Okay, and then the same thing with the next one. We do add new. Now we need to install something called BFT Lite. It's an autoresponder that works inside WordPress, so you don't have to buy an autoresponder like Aweber or any of those. You can use the one that we're going to install here. Okay, so BFT Lite, we'll put that in here. Okay, let's try a different it's BFT Autoresponder. Let's install. And activate. Okay, if you get an error like that, just try it again. That sometimes happens. And make sure you activate both of them. One of them is actually the autoresponder. The other one is a piece of code that runs to determine if it should send out any messages on that day. That's triggered by your website being loaded one time during the day. Next, we're going to add one called Custom Meta. What this allows us to do is to customize the sign-in side of our site. If we go to our site now and look at Meta, it shows cited min, logout, ValidX, HTML, XFN, and WordPress. With Custom Meta, we can get rid of all this stuff out of our widgets. Okay, so let's go back here. Custom Meta, we'll type in here. Search. Okay, install. Now we need two different plugins to hide posts. We do that because we don't want posts to be able to be seen by the public. Okay, so we have one called hide post and one called WP to hide post. They do different things. That's why we need two. Okay, so we'll go here. We'll put hide post. Okay, here it is. Hide post. This is one of them. This one protects content on a specific post. Okay, and then the next one is WP hide post. Okay, so it's WP hide post. Okay, so this one. Okay, and they do different things. We're going to get to the setup in the next video. For now, we're just going to install everything, and then we can just go along and start setting things up since everything will be ready for us to go. Okay, so that one's installed. Okay, let's go to the options page and we'll just enable it. Okay, let's go back to plugins. The last one we need to install is called the WP No Follow No Index tool. What this does is it keeps things from the search engines. Okay, so we'll add new. Just type in no index. This is what we need here, Ultimate No Index No Follow tool. So install that. Activate. Okay, these are all the plugins we need installed so that our site will act like a membership site. That concludes this video. In the next video, we're going to go set things up with the plugins.